Buildings designed by architecture firm Coop Himmelb can be seen all over the world. Founder Wolf D. Prix is the idea man at the Vienna-based company. It all started in 1968 with a small team and big aspirations. From the very beginning, the name Himmelblau stood for a philosophy.
Himmelblau isn't a color, it's an idea to make architecture like clouds. It was a protest against the economized, functionalized architecture that was at the forefront of discussion at the time.
Clouds are symbolic of change, and radical change at that. Visually reminiscent of the gentle shapes created by ocean waves, a conference center is being built in the Chinese port city of Dalian. The Austrian architects have even won over conservative bankers with their innovative designs. They're currently building a new home for the European Central Bank in Frankfurt. With a construction cost of 500 million euros, the project is the largest ever for Coop Himmelb. Prix can't pinpoint the company's recipe for success, but the firm may well have thrived by sticking to its original ambitions.
First, to create identifiable, noticeable special buildings, recognizable in the city like bones in meat. We develop new strategies to arrive at a new interpretation of public space. And all of our buildings use 30% less energy than the norm requires.
Alle unsere Gebäude verbrauchen 30% weniger Energie als die Norm vorschreibt.
When Prix and partner Helmut Zwickczynski started out in 1968, they sought to transform the city with their revolutionary aesthetic. And they took their belief that architecture should be inflammatory, literally. They incorporated their leitmotif, the clouds, into their architectural design.
That was our first project, a cloud, an inflatable shell in which movable platforms and diverse spatial situations can be produced. The whole thing can be packed into a container and transported by truck wherever you want it to go.
At first, their utopian ideas only made it to the drawing board. Coop Himmelb spent a long time struggling to stay afloat. The first commission started rolling in during the mid-1970s. The architects designed the interiors of bars in Vienna. Later on, the company got its first building contracts. Their most famous projects include the Falkenstrasse Rooftop Edition in Vienna, the UFA Cinema Center in Dresden, and the Akron Art Museum in Ohio. Today, Coop Himmelb employs a staff of 150 people from 19 countries. They test their designs in the classic way with detailed models. Even international companies are turning to them for extravagant design. In 2007, BMW World opened in Munich, a building that serves as both a delivery center for cars and a public space. Coop Himmelb's leaders have kept the idea of creating space for people one of their key goals. But these spaces don't have to be set in stone. This opera pavilion in Munich opened in June 2010. It's a collapsible cultural center that's easy to transport and set up, even in increasingly dense urban spaces.
The future of humankind really lies in overcoming the city problem. I think today the next step in the future for us architects is very exciting, because we're really being called on to create new life designs for society.
Architectural designs that sometimes appear as if they just lift up off the ground, like the firm's current project, the House of Music, a cutting-edge concert hall in the Danish city of Aalborg. One of their upcoming projects is the Museum of Contemporary Art in Shenzhen, China. For Co-op Himmelb, it's another creation that's meant to prove that extraordinary architectural forms can also provide plenty of function.